Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Senior Vice President and General Manager, Datacom, Andy Mcmillan.
Hello, Dreamforce. What a room. This is awesome. This is awesome. I'm really excited to be here. We have had an incredible year this year at Data.com, building a really special set of products with all of you, our customers. And today's like Christmas Day for us, getting to show you all the things that we've been working on. We have some really exciting announcements. We've got some fantastic demos that I think are really going to get everybody psyched up. So I'm really excited to be here. Of course, also exciting, I do want to quickly go over the safe harbor statement. This is actually important. If you're going to buy our products or buy our stock, you should do that based on the products that we have in market today, not on things that you see here that are futures. We're going to show you some amazing new products. We're going to show you some amazing new concepts of products. But as we build those products, we work with you to shape those products. We get feedback, we do pilots, we do betas, we do all kinds of amazing things working with our customers, and so those products might look different when we release them. So it is important. If you want to read the safe harbor statement, you can do it at our website. Along that lines, though, I do want to start by saying thank you, and really, really thank you. This product in particular came out of a bunch of conversations with our customers about how could you be more successful with Salesforce. And you told us a couple years ago you could be more successful with Salesforce if we helped you with your data. That if the Salesforce system that you got wasn't just an empty box that you had to put everything in, but it came with insights and information and really helped you drive that success and engagement. And over the last 3 years, we have built this product together with you. We've had customer advisory boards, feedback forums. We've had 3 Dreamforces now. We've had people at our booth. We've had all this conversation with you about how you manage your data, how you use Salesforce. And so I really, really want to say thank you. I think we have an amazing set of customers. I love our Data.com customers. You guys are awesome. So thank you. So hopefully all of you saw the amazing keynote this week that Mark and the team did. I'm blown away with a lot of the stuff that we're doing here at Salesforce around the customer success platform. And I'm guessing that you're here today with us talking about Data.com because you understand that while there's billions and trillions of pieces of data being collected, being put into our applications and our systems, that all of that data has to be part of your customer success platform. It has to be integrated. It has to be turned into insights. You have to use the power of that data to drive your applications. And the amount of that data is going to continue to rise, right? You saw this slide in the keynote, 10 times the mobile data, 19 times the unstructured data, and 50 times the product data by the year 2020. How do you manage that data? How do you complement that data? But most importantly, how do you think about a world of customer data with that much information? How we think about customer data is changing. And it's easy to talk about this in kind of big data terms and huge concepts, but take a step back and think about personally how the way you work with data has changed and the expectations around that has changed. An example I like to use that is one I think everyone can relate to is 3 years ago, 4 years ago, if I interviewed someone and they arrived at that meeting, I expected maybe they spent a couple minutes reading the website about the company. That was the amount of information they brought. And if they showed up and they said, hey, Andy, I was online, I did all this research about you, and I know about your background, I know where you went to school, I would have been a little surprised. Not even sure I would have been completely comfortable. Not that I went to a bad school. But now, if someone arrives at an interview with me and they haven't at least looked at my profile online, if they don't know not just what's on the front page of the Salesforce.com website, but they don't know about my products, right? They haven't done a bit of research, I'm disappointed in that candidate, right? This is what your customers are going to be going through with you. They expect you to know more about them. They expect you to arrive with insights about their business, about their customers. What are they trying to accomplish with their customers? What are their goals? How are things going in their business? The world of customer data is changing, and it's changing the expectation of how the customer success platform will help you connect with those customers. And it's about knowing more than just we've traditionally thought about in terms of knowing about our customers. For many, many years, we've thought about these MDM systems, these centralized systems, and we've had this idea that if only we could go around the enterprise and collect all these little nuggets of information, we could assemble this amazing picture of who our customers are. And the reality is, a lot of the data in our internal systems isn't that good. It's just not, right? I can find better insights very often on the first page of search results than customers who spent millions and millions of dollars trying to compile their own internal profiles. So the reality is, you need to continue to have a strategy around your internal data, right? This is what we focused on. Product orders, purchase histories, support cases, that's unique to you, and you need to manage that internally. Right? You need to understand when I meet with a customer that they have an open case. I need to understand what their purchase order is. But you have to think outside your four walls to get a complete picture. You have to know not just what you've put in the CRM yourself, not just your view of what's happening with that customer, but what's really happening with that customer. So while you're in the office using the CRM to think about selling strategies, your customers are in their markets, right? They have their own things going on. You need to think about this external data. What's happening? Is the company growing? How are they doing on their key performance indicators? What's going on in the news, right? What's really happening with your customers? So we want you to think about bringing that whole picture, right? My team likes to say the 360-degree view of the customer has to include what's actually going on at the customer. It's got to be part of the equation. So a lot of people know this is happening. You'll hear people, IDC has this statistic, by 2020, 70% of Fortune 500 companies will make decisions from a mashup of more than 5 third-party data sources. Now, I think this will be all companies, not just Fortune 500 companies. One of the things about the cloud is it democratizes access to information and systems, and that's a big part of what we've been doing at Salesforce. I also believe it's going to be many more than 5 sources. I think you're going to really have to focus on how do you master the entity resolution of who's that customer I'm talking about, but then empower your entire enterprise to have smart applications that can go get that data. So in short, what we're saying is the customer success platform is really exciting, but when it comes to your data strategy, the same old thinking is going to lead to the same old results. We need to dramatically step back and think about how do you have a cloud era, customer platform centric view of knowing your customer. So your data strategy needs to evolve. And we think there's really 4 key components to a next generation customer data strategy. First, it has to be cloud-based. We have to acknowledge that there's this incredible wealth of information available in ways never before imagined. It's right at your fingertips and right at the fingertips of your applications in the cloud. It needs to be mobile aware, right? The amazing part of that Wave demo was when Alex was doing everything just on his phone, right? The analytics has to work for your new mobile sales team, your new mobile service team. It needs to be mobile aware. It needs to be what we call application centric. I want to talk about this for a second. What we mean by application centric is that the data and your data strategy serves the outcomes of the applications that you roll out to your employees and to your customers. If I'm doing sales and I'm using a sales application, I want a data strategy that's designed around sales. I want it to work seamlessly with my sales application. If I'm working in purchasing, I want a purchasing data strategy that's related to purchasing. It's related to that application. And it needs to be smart. If you're going to have 50 times the product data in your system should be helping you figure out what's important out of that data. It needs to tell me what I need to know. And so when we think about Data.com and this incredible journey that we've been on with all of you to build this product, we were born cloud. This is what we do, right? It's really, we believe, the first real cloud-based data strategy. It's whenever, wherever. You're going to see demos today, a lot of them on the mobile device, and maybe more, maybe other devices. But it's got to be whenever and wherever you need it to be. We designed and built this product for Salesforce with all of you. My development team sits right with the Sales Cloud development team. When they build a new feature, my team says, what data do we need to make that feature work? And the amazing part of this is it becomes a virtuous circle where they now design capabilities and features in the application, knowing that they can have this incredible data set to help customers make decisions. So we're jointly building that Sales Cloud product with an incredible data experience in mind. It revolutionizes the way that we think about building the application. And it knows you. The CRM is incredible because it knows so much about your relationship with your customers. The CRM knows who owns which account. Right? You can walk into a sales meeting and say, who owns this account? And 3 people will say yes. And what you do is you go in the CRM and you say, no, it's this guy. He owns it. Right? So your data strategy should take advantage of that. The CRM knows how urgent things are. The CRM knows that you have an open deal with this customer, or that you have a big renewal coming up, or maybe that you've never had a relationship with this prospect. So it's got to be smart. And so you're going to see a lot of new things that we've been building and working on that really takes the data strategy to a new level. It's really now becoming data science. We're really building a smarter Data.com with all of the important sales outcomes that you care about in mind. So what I want to do now is take a second and bring up one of our key partners who really, along with all of you, really helped us build this product. So please give a very, very warm Dreamforce welcome to Mike Sabin, the Executive Vice President and GM for the Global Partnerships at Dun & Bradstreet. So Mike, thank you so much for being here. It's been fantastic building this product with you. You and your team have been just outstanding. So could you take maybe just a minute and tell us a little bit about what you see happening from your vantage point at Dun & Bradstreet? What's happening in the data industry and the data market?
Sure, yeah. And first off, thanks for including us. I think the partnership's been great. I guess the only surprise I have is that you didn't wear your superhero costume.
Yeah, no,
Parker. But with respect to some of the trends we're seeing in the market, I think first and foremost, it's just a really exciting time to be in the data business. It's changing more rapidly than ever before, creating much more data with many different data topics, and more people are relying and viewing data and the insights generated from data as a competitive advantage. So I think it's a really exciting time. The 2 key trends that I would highlight, the first speaks to something that you talked about and Mark talked about as well in his keynote with respect to just the data explosion that we're seeing, right? This notion of big data. 90% of the world's data have been being generated in the past 2 years. So it's this incredible explosion, and it requires that all of us figure out a way to separate the signal from the noise and all that. Because otherwise, with this data tsunami, you could just drown it and spend all day, every day, just wallowing in data. And so really figuring out how to extract and glean the insights that help drive decision-making and better decisions for your business, I think is key. So that'd be the first one. The second one is this notion of leveraging that insight and empowering team members across the organization to use it to perform their job better, to make better decisions in their daily tasks to help drive the company forward. I thought the example yesterday of Coca-Cola in Germany and the way Ulrich has leveraged the platform to put data in the hands of their team members as they're out on the front lines, making better decisions and help driving more quickly the business forward.
That's awesome. So you guys are on an incredible transformational journey yourselves at Dun & Bradstreet. A lot of amazing things happening at the company. Could you tell us a little bit about this partnership and what it's meant to your transformation and kind of how you guys think about where you're going to take the business?
Yeah, absolutely. So 3 years ago when we came together and formed this partnership, we had a vision, right? We had this concept of D&B everywhere. And it really speaks to that second trend I was talking about, which is figuring out ways to take our insight and put it in the hands of end users where they need it, when they need it, so that they have access to that to make the decisions in their everyday work. And so through this partnership, we are actually able to do that. And obviously, Salesforce has an incredibly large and fast-growing user community, and we are able to partner with you to deliver that value into the hands of those end users. And so from that, I think there's been a couple things. First of all, it helped demonstrate that what we were trying to do works, right? So we've seen value, and most importantly, value in what customers have extracted from the joint solution, right? So we've talked about some of the feedback we've gotten from our joint customers with respect to increased productivity, more opportunities, shorter sales cycles, all those good things. So really, this partnership has been a proof point that this combination of application and content together really does work and adds value to the marketplace.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, it's as I said, it was kind of a unique concept when we first started talking to customers about it together, and it's really kind of changed the way people think about data. So last question would be, what's next? Like, what could we do together more? What do you see happening in the data marketplace? Like, what can we do to better drive more value?
How much time do we have?
Yeah, there's a lot of things.
Because I think there's just an unbelievable amount of opportunity. When we look at what's possible with respect to delivering greater insight to more end users, with all of the innovation that Salesforce is bringing to market through the variety of clouds. I think just picking one specific example, right? The launch yesterday of the Analytics Cloud. Being able to leverage internal data plus external data to deliver more predictive insights across the enterprise is one quick example of something we can do more. Certainly the Marketing Cloud, and then the continued evolution of the prospecting solution that we already have in market. So I think there's a ton of opportunity for us to continue to work together to provide even more value to customers.
I agree. Well, fantastic. Thank you so much, Mike, for joining us at Dreamforce. So I appreciate it, Mike. Maybe just maybe an aside almost, which I don't know if that's great for a keynote, but here's an aside. I think what D&B's been doing is fascinating. They're doing a lot of what we talk about at Dreamforce, about transformation. And if you want to learn more about it, there's a fantastic YouTube video that you can watch of D&B's CEO, Bob Kerrigan, talking with Jeffrey Moore, who many of you know is a luminary in our industry, talks a lot about corporate transformation. And actually, a session that D&B is hosting tomorrow here at Dreamforce, you can actually watch Jeffrey Moore talk with a couple of CEOs on stage about transformation. I think that's 9 o'clock tomorrow, so I would go to that. I'm going to try to make it. So I want to spend a little bit of time now kind of diving into the product. How does Data.com help you with this cloud data strategy? And we're going to do this in kind of 3 phases. We're going to first talk about applications, because that's what we've been really focusing on here. How do you use Data.com to make your applications smarter, richer, better, and drive more success with your customers? We'll talk a little bit about the platform. How do you think about data as a platform, as part of that customer service platform? And then finally, we're going to talk about insights. We'll take a little bit of a look at kind of why Data.com and the new Wave product and Analytics Cloud go together so well. So please give a very warm welcome to our extremely talented Vice President of Product Management and Marketing at Data.com, Michelle Huff.
Thanks, Andy. So how does Data.com help you build your cloud data strategy? Now, the first way is that Data.com offers you an out-of-the-box application really geared for sales. And originally, it was really optimized to help you better find and target new leads and accounts and bring them directly into Salesforce. I need to press my button harder. One day, I'm leaving on the edge of your seat. It's going to go. And so you will see why this actually makes sense later in my demo today. So I see it coming up on the screen, so I think this next one is going to show up. It says Data.com app for sales. Yay! Woo! So one of the things we provide, right, is this out-of-the-box application. And when it debuted, right, nearly 3 years ago, we've been really focusing on trying to make sure that salespeople can really find these new leads. And we brought in millions of new business contacts, hundreds of millions of company profiles, as well as social handles, right? And we've been adding all these different features to help you better search and filter and find and import it directly into Salesforce. But today, what we're really announcing is a reimagined Data.com prospector. And what it is it's going to be built on Lightning, which is allowing it to be tablet, mobile aware. But additionally, it's going to have business news. And it's also having an expanded set of data from Dun & Bradstreet, things like industry insights, competitive insights, as well as conversation starters, right? And the reason is it's going to help and focus on those hunters to not only find and target those leads, but now be able to actually take that external information and be able to have a richer and warmer conversation. So one of the things about this Data.com prospector we'll be showing you in a demonstration. Super excited about it. So the next thing as well, right, how do we help you build a cloud data strategy? As Andy mentioned, it's a little bit about the platform. And a big part of it is we really allow you to turn on the capability and turn Salesforce into an innovative cloud data platform. You can take this external customer data and build it right into Salesforce. And we know that this customer data, right, it changes pretty quickly. At the same time, it's hard for your systems to keep up. It's often duplicated, right, and it's rarely entered in complete. And so everyone, right, we hear so much from our customers at how much they struggle in trying to keep up. And really take that data and be able to drive the right business process, be able to drive lead scoring and routing, territory planning, and really help with CRM adoption. And so what customers have been doing with Data.com is really using it as a tool to help them have cleaner, more reliable, and more complete customer information. And with that, the Data.com Clean, right, just this year alone, you're seeing all these features come up. We've been building a lot of things to better work and be more flexible in your application within Salesforce, right? We've had more enhanced APIs. We've done some interesting things around being able to better make sure that it understands your triggers and your workflows, and a lot of things to really embed it directly into Salesforce. But last year, for the Data.com keynote, we were here and told you as a part of this, we were going to be addressing duplicates, right? We were going to take on that challenge. I'm happy to be here today to talk to you about the new Data.com duplicate management. And a part of this is that we have been all over summer piloting this new capability. It's actually available right now. It's generally available beta available. And this next release is soon to be generally available. Pay attention now. This is actually going to be available for all CRM customers included in their license for Professional Edition and above. And a part of this, yay! And a part of this is we really wanted to make sure that all the teams using Salesforce were better armed to fight against duplicates, right? And be able to actually go in and block that. And for all of the customers that are Data.com Clean customers, you're going to be able to help even more, right? Because we all know this information comes in incomplete, right? So you're able to take the data set within your own system, match it with our reference data set, and the great thing is it'll be able to actually go in, complete it, update it. That means you can find more duplicates, you can block more duplicates, and keep winning more of those battles. So really, at the end of the day, I'm super excited about all these features. I thought maybe we can just dive into a demonstration. And Kevin Mcmillan here is going to be helping me, driving the demo. We'll just have you get all set up. So in this demonstration, I'm Carol Hill, and I'm a sales executive at ADP, and I'm starting off my day in Salesforce 1. In fact, one of the things that I'm doing, I'm on my train, I'm headed into work, and I'm just catching up on everything that's going on in my Today. What you're seeing right here is the new Today application with Sales Cloud. It's the new mobile app. And if you go into Today, one of the things that the Data.com team has been working with Sales Cloud is when you scroll up, you can actually see a new section called Account News. And what this is doing, again, is taking that external data and bringing it right into the application. And right here, we're seeing a new thing about a new article about tech labs. And this is really matching an appointment that I have in my calendar. Right? So the great thing is, I can walk in and feel better prepared. Right? Because before, I could do this, but I always ran out of time. Right? So now, I can go into the meeting, feel so much more confident, have those right insights right at my hand on mobile. So now, the next thing that I'm doing, every time, right when I get into work, I always like to spend the first 30 minutes just getting so much more familiar with all the leads that are in my lead queue. So when I'm going into Salesforce, and I'm taking a look at the application, what you're going to be seeing is the new rendition of Salesforce. Yay! So right here, we see all my different leads in my lead queue, and we see Bob Smith, right? So I'm going to drill into Bob, and we're seeing more details, right? And right here, you can see there is a clean status, and this right here is Data.com Clean in action. It's taking some of these leads that were coming in from marketing, And it's filling in anything that might be incomplete. It's updating some of the information so that I, as a sales rep, can be confident that I have the most complete record possible. If I keep drilling in here, we're going to take a look at a little bit more information about Bob. And one of the things that I'm noticing right underneath performance is that it's pulling additional information about Best Tech. And I can see that there are 33%. Best Tech is actually growing at 33%, which is fantastic for the talent management solutions that I'm selling. What you're starting to see here is the reimagined Data.com prospector, really so much more integrated directly into Salesforce. So when I'm looking at this, I can keep drilling in and continuing to see more and more, right? So I can keep learning about Best Tech. And one of the things that I'm trying to do, right, is I'm trying to best figure out, do I think that my products are a great fit for Best Tech? I'm also trying to better understand what might be some pieces of information that I could really use so that right when I make that phone call, it can be a warmer connection. News is a great thing for that. So if I keep scrolling up, I can see that Best Tech right here is planning to actually enter the SMB area and the Bay Area and is hiring 350 more employees, which is fantastic, right? Love seeing growth. In fact, this is probably such a big enough deal, I'm seeing under social buzz, the CEOs even tweeting about hiring more people. So great for my products. I'm actually feeling like this is a really good fit. I can also see underneath financial summary, it says fiscal year end is January. Great thing to know, because the new fiscal year is always a great compelling event. So now I have some timelines. Additionally, we keep looking up, and one of the things that you're starting to see is a family tree. Now, this is really taking the power of some of this external data and blending it right within Salesforce. We're taking a look, and I could see, gosh, from a Best Tech standpoint, as a company, we're already selling. There's 18 opportunities across 6 different locations within Best Tech. Right? And this is fantastic because I have a visual way to start seeing all the different subsidiaries and branch offices and divisions that all make up Best Tech. And not only that, I'm seeing it paired with Salesforce information, so I can see the actual opportunities and deal sizes directly right within here in the family tree. I'm really excited about this lead. So one of the nice things is if Bob doesn't really pan out, the great thing is within the Data.com contacts, I can see that Data.com has actually found an additional 3,400 different contacts that I can start trying to work and find someone within Best Tech. Now finally, scrolling down, one thing before I make that phone call, I always love checking out the industry insights, competitive insights, conversation starters. Right? All things that, especially if I'm selling into this industry, it's pretty new to me. The great thing is I have so much more information that's available there so I can have a better conversation. It's training me a little bit about what type of questions I might actually want to ask the person when I'm on the phone. Wow, I'm feeling so much more prepared, feeling like I can actually give that person a phone call because it's taking all this information, right, additional customer insights and bringing it to me directly within Salesforce. So I don't want to brag, but I think that conversation with Bob went really well. It was awesome because he brought in this gal named Deb Johnson, and we started talking about the solution. He said, all he wants me to do is call him back next week, and he just wants to socialize it internally. So it was a great day. In fact, it was so great. I'm back on the train, trying to get a lot of things done. Could never seem to actually get some of these little tasks. And so what I'm doing is going into my mobile device and going to add Deb Johnson as the new contact. Now, as a sales rep, do you think that I'm going to go in and actually search to see if Deb's already in the system? Doesn't even occur to me. I'm just going to simply type in Deb Johnson, email address, and if you see right there, there's that green notification. That is Data.com duplicate prevention in action. Right? And what's fantastic is when you see that, you can select it, and the great thing is you can literally prevent duplicates getting in the first place, or you can simply notify and let them know that there's potential duplicates. And what I'm seeing right here is it's actually found 3 potential duplicates in the system, right? And I'm looking and I see Deb Johnson, Director of Alliances, which is fantastic. I select Deb, brings it into the system, and at the same time, right, I'm off and running, and the fantastic thing, no typing for me on this little mobile device, and I know my sales ops team is going to be very happy because there's one less duplicate now in Salesforce. Yay! So, it's been a month later, and I have to say I'm pretty disappointed. Bob hasn't returned my phone call. I've been leaving emails, I've been making telephone calls, and he's gone completely silent on me. Deb, I mean, I really felt like I had a close connection. I don't know if I just need to give up and just simply, I don't know, put her in a nurture track, maybe focus on different opportunities. Oh, I think that's my telephone. It's very quiet. One thing, have you guys seen these new wearable devices? So what's kind of cool about them is that I can quickly see if this telephone call is important. It's Bob. You guys don't mind. I think I'm going to go take my phone call, right? Hey, Bob. So one of the things you might be noticing right now is the great thing is I'm flipping through, and this is actually with Data.com bringing some additional insights to me while I'm on the phone. It knows that Bob's called me, and I'm looking and seeing that, did you know, at Best Tech, they hired a new VP of HR, which probably explains why he was going silent on me, right? Needed to be able to talk to him first before buying a solution. Also says it's from Acme, which is great because we've sold to them before. This is fantastic, and I'm seeing all this additional information right when I'm speaking to him on the phone, so I can see that he's gone to different events, and he's tweeting some different things. This is great. Yeah, Bob? Yeah, I would love to set up a meeting with you and your new head of HR. He came from Acme, right? Fantastic. I'm kind of in the middle of something. Do you mind if I just kind of do this offline and send you an email? Great, thanks. So finally, with Data.com, right, the great thing is we're able to bring a lot of this external, this customer information, bring it directly into Salesforce. Also that I can know my customers better, right, and I can have the right information at the right time, so I can find contacts faster, better qualify leads, I can make those warmer connections, and ultimately close more deals. So back to you, Andy.
So I think you can see why we're a little excited to show you all the new toys and things we've been building. I want to take just a second and thank the team. I mean, they've worked really hard on a lot of these new features and capabilities. Our team in Tel Aviv has been building out all this technology on the wearables. I have teams in San Francisco and San Mateo that have been working with our clean products, our prospecting products, really just a phenomenal job. And again, thank all of you for the incredible feedback and guidance you've given us on the products. And we're not going to stop here. We have more stuff to announce. And one of the things that we've heard from a lot of you is that great data is fantastic, but sometimes people need to visualize that data. They need an application to really make the data make sense to them. So one of the things that we're announcing is the Data.com App Showcase. These are a whole set of solutions, some designed by partners, some designed by Salesforce and Data.com, that are available to you that you can use to highlight many of these solutions. You just saw the insights on the watch. We have a new mobile capability coming out for Prospector called Get Contacts, where basically I can be on an account page and I can drill in and find contacts right on my mobile device from Data.com. We have a partner, Traction, that has built this incredible hierarchy viewer for really giving you additional depth and visibility into the hierarchies that you're selling into. We have a territory app that's fantastic from a partner, Proficient, for really working with territory management and understanding how to leverage that data to better align your territories. And there'll be many, many more coming. So this is a big part of our strategy, is to give you more solutions, to give you more leverage out of the data. So be sure to check these out. Many of them are here at the show, and you can come and look at these solutions. We also heard from you that you want more data. You want more data from different vendors, for different verticals, that this solution, this strategy for clean data has changed the way that you work with core firmographics and with contact data, but you need specialized data. And so we're announcing today the Data.com Exchange, and we have 6 partners that have started with us on this journey. We will add many, many more. And this is really going to leverage the Data.com technology as a platform, really putting the data that's most important to you into the hands of your users. And we have some great partners. Health Market Science for healthcare. If you're in the healthcare industry, you don't just need firmographics, you need information about doctors. You need information about providers, right? You need very verticalized data. You've noticed at Salesforce there's been a big push around industries. We have a fantastic industries showcase, and that's because customers need solutions aimed at their markets. One I know that many of you have asked us about is European contacts. I have these meetings where people say, Andy, we love Data.com, but we want to tell you about this other place called Europe. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but we sell there. So, concept's not lost on us. Bisnode is a leading provider of business contact information in Europe. So, providing you access to those European contacts, which I think will be fantastic. Hart Hanks. Hart Hanks specializes in technology information. What technology do people use in-house? How much do they spend on technology? Who are the key people that are responsible for that technology, for selling into high tech? Wealth Engine. Wealth Engine focuses on high net worth contacts. And this is really important for both investment and wealth management companies, but also charities. And they have all kinds of information about propensity to donate, ability to donate, really a contact asset aimed at a specific market segment. One we've worked with for a while that I'm really excited about as well is consumer insight from Axiom. A lot of our customers say, I don't just sell to contacts, I sell to households. Right? Thinking about that retail or consumer related data. And finally, S&P Capital IQ, a leader in the financial space, really focused on not just public companies, but also early stage companies and following them all the way through, providing you financial insights and information about those companies. This, again, will be extremely relevant to our customers in the financial services industry. This is the data that they need to run their business. So we're really excited about the Data.com Exchange. There's actually a session, I believe it's right after this, I think it's 2 doors down, where we're going to be talking about the Data.com Exchange. And finally, something I'm really excited about. I'm like a kid with a candy store with this analytics product. I've shown it to so many people, and so often most of my team, I get out my phone and they're like, oh, we're going to see the demo again. But it's fantastic. I absolutely love this product. We all know, being in the data space, that you need good data to have good analytics. So we're rolling out analytics for the rest of us with the Analytics Cloud, but this is going to really show your data in a whole new way. So we're going to maybe take a look at Kevin's phone here for a second. He's going to show you a little bit of what this looks like. The data that you show to your people on their mobile device is going to show all your data. If you don't have industry codes, they can't sort by industry. If you don't have complete data, they can't look at that data. Last year we talked about the end of unknown. How do you take that part of the pie chart in every one of your dashboards and reports that says unknown and get rid of it? How do you have this complete look? We need to have the end of unknown on your mobile device. You do not want to roll out this amazing product and tell everybody, look, you have this fantastically awesome graphic pie chart and 50% of the data is unknown, and then click into that and 60% of that is unknown. You need this complete data to drive this, but also all the things you're going to filter on. When you click that filter button as an RVP or an AVP and you want to drill in and look at your territory, you're going to want to know revenue groupings, employee counts, you're going to want to know industries. The power of Data.com is shown in this application. If you can provide your users not just a powerful application, but a powerful data set to go with it, you're going to blow them away. So thanks, Kevin, for the kind of quick tour around. I think it's fantastic. And thanks for the demos, by the way. Great job, Kevin, up here. So we're really excited about the power of Wave and what it means with Data.com. And it's also an analytics platform where you can bring in other data sources. So as you think about bringing in that rich, clean data from the CRM, you can also bring in all these other data sources, additional data from Dun & Bradstreet, additional data from your SAP system. And as we know, as data professionals, matching that data is going to depend a lot on the richness and completeness of that data. So I really think it's going to be powerful for how you use the Analytics Cloud. What I'd like to do now is bring up one of our customers to talk a little bit about some of these products we've been working on and kind of where we've been taking the product. I mentioned we have these customer advisory boards. This customer has been, they're a very early, very big customer with us. They've been a fantastic partner with us. They've really worked with us on every aspect of the product, and I'm really excited to have them here with us, and especially the person who's going to come up here and talk with us. They're a Sales Surfboard Award winner this year for success with the Sales Cloud. So please welcome Heather Talerico from ADP to Dreamforce. So Heather, tell the audience just a little bit about your role at ADP.
Sure. So I have the honor and privilege of managing a team called the Sales Solutions team. Many of them are actually in the audience today. And their primary focus is on optimizing and maximizing Salesforce to make sure that our reps are as productive as possible. Their focus is not just on the CRM tool as an application, but also the data within that tool.
Fantastic. So, as I said, you guys have been an incredible partner. You've done fantastic things with the product. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience being a pilot customer for the duplicate prevention product?
Yeah, I mean, duplicates are an issue for everyone, right? I don't think anyone is going to say that it isn't. It's been really powerful for us. So we've been on a very long data journey that really, started with a couple key pieces. So, I've got a relatively small team that has to manage the 9 million account records that we have currently in Salesforce.com. We've got global sales teams that are all working jointly on these accounts and adding data into the system. And how do we keep our small business reps agile and mobile in the field and really make sure that we're managing duplicates. Data.com Clean was really the first step in us trying to get some of that rich data into their hands much faster. And we've actually been able to leverage Clean to do some things on the duplicate front that we didn't even know we could do. But we've kind of issued war against duplicates in the past 6 months, and that's not a joke, as my team will tell you. And we've just been going through this iterative process of how do we identify the duplicates that we have in the system, how do we effectively get rid of them. But what's really important is making sure that you're blocking them from getting into the system to begin with. Again, our reps need to be out in the field, they need to be mobile, but we also have to make sure that they're on the forefront of ensuring that we're having effective and clean data as well.
It's fantastic. So what has, so you've been on this journey with us and you guys have just partnered with us in an amazing way. What has having access to this clean data and using data.com, how has that changed and what has that meant for you and your role and for ADP?
Yeah, there's a couple things. My team, we've been buying data, D&B data for as long as I know. And, we kind of had a choice of how do we want to maximize our data resources? Do we have them spending their entire time matching and appending data into Salesforce, or do we really want them more focused on some of the strategic data governance tasks that, would bring more value to the business? At the same time, we've been on this path of mobile productivity and mobile innovation, and a lot of the issues in our data, a lot of the inconsistencies were really starting to surface. So, it's really helped us, improve that process tremendously.
It's fantastic. You guys have really built an amazing set of applications. I think last year at Dreamforce, a lot of them were highlighted. You guys have built some amazing selling applications. So, last question. We announced the kind of the data market approach we're having. I know you guys have been big advocates for this. Can you tell me a little bit about what's your sense of the data market?
I'm very excited about this one as well. As I mentioned, taking the time to match and append data is really not the best use of time for data resources. So, our sales reps sell every single product within the HCM space, and we buy a lot of niche data from various different vendors. And trying to figure out how do we effectively match and append that data into Salesforce is always a challenge. Some use FEIN, some use DUN, some use their own proprietary ID. So being able to have that match and append for some of these ancillary sources be as easy as it is with Data.com Clean will really be a huge win for my team and really allow us to focus more on those strategic data governance tasks that will help make our sales reps much more productive.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, again, you guys have been an outstanding customer. Congrats on the Salesforce Board Award.
Thank you, Andy.
And thank you again so much for spending some time with us today. So I think we'll just keep rolling with the announcements. We have more things to announce and talk about. We had a press release coming into Dreamforce about Sales Cloud One. And a lot of people have asked me about the Sales Cloud One press release. And really what Sales Cloud One is about is taking Salesforce really into the hands of the rep. Not just having it be a tool for sales management to look at how they're running their business, but to really make reps tremendously powerful with Salesforce. And you've seen it with the Notes application, with Sales Cloud Reach and that capability, with what you've seen in Today. But one of the things we are doing as part of that initiative to engage reps is we're saying what other content, what other data would really help a rep be successful. So part of that press release, we announced a new strategic partnership with Data.com and Thomson Reuters. And Thomson Reuters is a fantastic company, Wall Street icon of knowledge about everything that's going on in the market. And we're going to be building a whole set of capabilities around bringing this great information into Salesforce. We talked earlier about knowing your customer. You have to really know what's going on at the customer. That's what Thomson Reuters is focused on, knowing what's happening at these companies. It's what we call the Wall Street advantage. And we're going to be bringing that to salespeople everywhere with Data.com and with Sales Cloud. And to talk about this, I'm really excited to bring up a tremendous executive who's been a big part of this partnership, Deborah Walton, Chief Content Officer for Thomson Reuters. Please welcome Deborah to Dreamforce. Thanks so much, Deborah. So Deborah, this partnership's been amazing. I continue to be blown away with the incredible content and the incredible people that we've worked with at Thomson Reuters. But can you tell everybody here what is the Wall Street advantage? What does that comprise?
Sure. Before I do, Andy, I just have to say how extremely excited we are by this new partnership. A bunch of Thomson Reuters people here, and we're very excited to have the partnership with Salesforce.com. And I think after this amazing Dreamforce, which is my first Dreamforce, I'm even more excited. It's been totally amazing.
Dreamforce does that to you.
Let's talk about the Wall Street advantage. I mean, I think very simply put, to me, the Wall Street advantage is information. I like to say that information is the lifeblood of the financial markets. Information is the tool of trade of traders and investors in the financial markets. If you go back to sort of the dawn of organized financial markets, traders and investors would hang out in dining rooms and bars, at stock exchanges. They were hanging out there because they were looking to get that nugget of information about a company, a piece of news from a trusted source that would give them that edge in order to make a winning trade. Now today, obviously, financial markets are transparent. There's an abundance of information in the market, but still, traders and investors are looking for that nugget of information. But they have to sort through a deluge of information to actually get that one trusted piece of information from a trusted source. And that's what we do at Thomson Reuters. We curate, we analyze, we deliver the information, we deliver Reuters news, which is based on 150 years of the Reuters Trust principles. And now we're really excited to work with Salesforce to bring that Wall Street advantage into Salesforce and deliver it to the world sales professionals.
And so, Deborah, you're the Chief Content Officer at Thomson Reuters, but you have a fantastic professional history. You've run sales teams. You've been a sales leader. You're actually a fantastic advocate for women in leadership and sales positions. Could you tell us a little bit about what does the Wall Street advantage mean for a salesperson? Like, why is this information so valuable to sales?
So, I was running our global accounts organization when we rolled out Salesforce at Thomson Reuters and went through that really painful journey that I'm sure everyone in this room has been through. How do you get, sales reps to start using a CRM tool? The whole journey is really around how we move and go from having Salesforce in our CRM, move it from being a task to a tool, which clearly is an amazing journey that Salesforce are really living into. And I think that the content that we can deliver from Thomson Reuters in the Salesforce workflow will really be additive to that mission. I mean, imagine obviously being able to get every piece of information that's going on with your customer, up-to-the-minute news, updates from Reuters, information about company financials, but more important than that, analyst reports, what the Wall Street analysts are saying about your customers, details of M&A deals that your customers may be involved in, much more detailed information that you would see perhaps on their website or in a press release. But more important than that, not just information about your customers, but information about your customers' competitors. So you can really get into that actionable insight, that reason to call your customer. Imagine getting key performance indicators on your customer. How is their financial performance measuring up to their industry peers? Are they falling below? What insights can you gather from that, and how can you turn that into a reason to call and connect with your customers? And I am very excited about how we can bring the rich content that we have in Thomson Reuters. We know how to build the workflow for Wall Street professionals, and now we're going to partner with Salesforce to build that workflow to bring that same information advantage to sales professionals.
It's outstanding. We're tremendously excited. So you have this vantage point of not only having run sales, but also now as the Chief Content Officer at Thomson Reuters. What do you see happening in content? Like, where's this all going?
Okay, so you know what? I'm really happy to be the Chief Content Officer at Thomson Reuters. I couldn't think of a better job at this point in time. The world is becoming, or is, a data economy. And it's a privilege to actually work for what I think is one of the world's greatest data companies. The trends that we're seeing, 5 years ago, our customers would have been happy just to buy our information or information from one of our competitors. But now, with the obsession with data, with the obsession with big data that's out there in social media, what our customers are wanting to do is not just consume our information, but they want to be able to link that with their own internal information about their customers. They want to link it with social media data, and they want to perform their own insights. So what we're now having to do is not just create and deliver information. We could never deliver all of that. It just wouldn't be scalably possible for us. So our focus very much now is how we create the ability for our customers to link data. So we're now taking our data ontology that we use to link data, our permanent identifiers, and we're going to be working with, we're making them available to our customers so they can really start to manage big data through our data ontology, and that'll be a big part of what we're going to do with Salesforce.
That's fantastic. So Deborah, thank you so much for joining us here at Dreamforce.
Thank
We're
you.
super excited about the partnership.
Thank you.
I'm really excited about this partnership, and Deborah and her team have been fantastic. Deborah's got a great blog on Huffington Post that I love that's about women in sales leadership. She's really an industry visionary, so thank you so much for being here. So what have we been talking about today? We've been talking about having a strategy for your data for this next generation customer success platform. That strategy is cloud-based, it's mobile aware, it's application centric, and I think what you just heard Deborah talking a little bit about is it's smart. Right? We've shown you the Today application a bunch of times. The example that I like to talk about is the Today app tells you what you think you're supposed to be doing today. Right? I'm meeting these 3 customers, and it's giving me insights about those customers. Well, what happens if something's going on in the market, and actually I should be meeting with somebody else? How does that information get pushed to me? How does it say, Andy, one of your really important customers or prospects has had something happen today out in the market? Right? Make that call today. Be the rep that knows the customer better than they know themselves. Call them up and get engaged. Know their business, know them better than they know themselves. And what we have found is that it works. Building a data strategy that's cloud-based, it's mobile aware, it's app-centric, and it's smart drives results. You all have told us it improves your data quality 30%. It improves your sales productivity 37%. It increased your CRM adoption 43%. Improved your data completeness 44%, 29% increased in sales opportunities. This is why you're using CRM. These are the goals you're trying to accomplish. It's taking data strategies and turning them into business outcomes. And again, thank you for all the partnering you've done with us to drive these incredible results in your environments. We have more going on at Dreamforce about Data.com. Please come by the Data.com booth or in the sales zone here. You can see the mobile demo of the Wave on the phone. I've made sure everybody has that demo, because if not, I show it to everybody. But there's fantastic demos. You can see a lot of these products. Right after this, in the admin zone, they are having the Super De-Duper Party. And I've actually seen a picture of this. They have a whack-a-mole game that they've modified to be whack-a-dupe. So please head over there and whack-a-dupe. There is a session on completing your customer-driven strategy with additional data, as I mentioned, going on with these new partners. And finally, we handed out some tickets on the way in. I hope most of you were able to get a ticket. If you're not going, please get your ticket to somebody else. But we are hosting people tonight to see Third Eye Blind at Ruby Sky. We're really excited. And again, all of this is because you've been such fantastic customers. We love you guys. Thank you so much. Have an incredible Dreamforce.